Welcome to Jewel's Leading Light Special Educational Needs Department, a place where potential is nurtured, voices are empowered, and every learner's progress is celebrated. In the next few minutes, we'll take you on a brief journey through the key areas that define our commitment to inclusive education. At Jewel's Leading Light Special Educational Needs Department, one thing remains constant: our belief in every child's ability to grow, learn, and shine in their own unique way. Together, through our tailored therapeutic regime and activities, we are not just supporting learners, we are unlocking potential and empowering futures. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Progress is something else in terms of speech and in terms of being able to organize himself and focus to do something. In terms of tracing, you discover that he has really changed. Patience to trace wasn't really there. You can just do like this and throw away the pen and then run away. But now, you know, when he gets home, he brings his assignment for us. Yeah. I don't know how you guys did it. He's more interested in terms of academics, unlike before. So I must appreciate God for this school. Nice knowing this school. Pains me that I really did not know this school before now. We are running from pillar to post, seeking for help, and say Philip has improved tremendously. Oh, my son.
Okay, my name is Mrs. Awuni and I'm Mufe's mom. Mufe is in grade 4. We've been here for like 5 years. So far, the journey has been challenging, actually, and as well good. We can see a lot of improvements in Mufe. First off, we are at peace that Mufe is here because we know he's in safe hands. There was a time we wanted to change school and then went around looking for school. To be honest, we didn't get any place that we're so comfortable with that we can say Mufe can be there and then we have peace at work. But here is different. To be honest, we can see the commitment that the teachers put in to educate the children, and they've taken Mufe as their own child, and that has given us joy and peace. This coach has really improved. You can communicate, we can literally communicate with Mufe, which wasn't like that before. Now you can tell Mufe, what do you want? We can communicate, and then he will tell us, unlike before that it wasn't like that. And to some extent, he's interacting with his sibling. He knows his numbers very well. That one is good at it. A lot has been done, and we really appreciate the educators, and they will say God will continue to bless you. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Jewel Lights, right?
Jewel's Leading Lights.
Jewel's Leading Lights. Good afternoon, everyone. I really want to thank God for the life of my grandson. Joining this school was a big blessing to us as grandparents, and I believe also to his own parents. It was a blessing. And there has been a tremendous, wonderful improvement in his life since he came here. He has improved so well in all his activities, academically, behavioral, in fact, in everything apart from the speech aspect, which I believe God that he will improve and he will begin to speak in no distance time. I want to say thank you to the teachers, to all that have made this possible. And may God Almighty continue to bless you and increase you all in your wisdom, in your ideas.
Amen.
To be able to train up these children the way parents will be fulfilled. in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Praise. Thank you, Mr. Solomon. Thank you, Auntie. I can't remember the name now. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Am I up? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Jews Leading Light Group of Schools Special Needs Virtual Summit 2025. We are so delighted to have our parents, educators, therapists, caregivers, and advocates from within and outside the school community join us tonight. Our theme for today's event is Engage, Empower, Experience Parents as Partners in Therapy. Speaks to the heart of today, strengthens therapeutic gains, and transform learning outcomes for our children. Tonight's summit is designed to equip, enlighten, and empower every parent and stakeholders present. Thank you for being here today. My name is Charity Joseph, and I would be your anchor for this impactful and inspiring session. Thank you for joining us. So, at this moment, I will be giving a little speech about the summit we're having today. This summit marks the closing highlight of our Parents as Therapists for a Day program, a hands-on initiative where parents actively engage in therapy sessions with their children during the week. Tonight, we will deepen the conversation by exploring evidence-based strategies, play therapies, and practical collaboration methods that parents can apply at home to reinforce school-based intervention. So, the Jews Leading Light Schools remains committed to inclusive education, family engagement, and evidence-led support for children with diverse needs. Our S.E.N department continues to bridge homeschools gaps through individualized educational plan, collaborative parent meetings, therapy integration across environments. That's the speech therapy, behavioral therapy, educational therapy, social skills, training, etc. This summit intends to continue trainings for parents, educators, and therapists, specialized assessments as well. Tonight's summit further strengthens that commitment. So, without wasting much time, I will be inviting someone very special to us, the executive director of the Jews Leading Light Group of Schools, for the Anchors script. So, she will be welcoming you officially to the summit tonight. Please, if your hands are not too busy wherever you are, can you just give her a round of applause? Thank you so much. You're welcome, the director, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Obo. We can't hear you, ma. We can't hear, madam. So while we wait for her to join us again, we would like to welcome those that are just joining us. Welcome to the Jews Leading Light Group of Schools S.E.N Summit 2025. The last edition we had a lot of people join in from all over the world. And today we also have amazing guests joining us from all over the world. We want to use this medium to say you're very much welcome. You're welcome. And I believe that today's session will be very impactful and enlightening at the same time. So thank you for joining us. I will be calling up the names that I see on my screen. Okay, this is into. Okay, I can see Uzio Festus. I can see Damilola 8190. You are welcome. I can see Temitope Adebayo. You're very much welcome. Thank you for joining us. Today promises to be enlightening, like I said. So get ready to jot things down because tonight we are going to learn a lot. Welcome back, the director.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, this is very good. We can hear you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I apologize for the previous loss in my volume. But today, we're very excited to be hosting our very own S.E.N conference. Good evening, distinguished guests, parents, educators, caregivers, and friends. It is my immense pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this year's S.E.N Virtual Summit, hosted by our prestigious institution, Jules Leading Light Schools. Today, we gather under the theme Engage, Empower, and Experience. A theme that beautifully reflects our purpose to connect, to learn, and to inspire meaningful change in the lives of every learner with special needs. At Jules Little Light Schools S.E.N Department, our mission is unwavering. We aim to empower learners with special educational needs through a rigorous therapeutic program, inclusive and individualized support that fosters excellence, confidence, and resilience. Rooted in Christ-centered values, we equip every learner to thrive, lead, gain independence, and make a meaningful impact in their generation and beyond. This mission is not just a statement. It is the guiding principle behind every decision, every program, and every interaction with our school. This summit is a testament to that commitment. It is a platform where we come together to raise awareness, deepen understanding, and advocate for true inclusion. It is a space where educators, parents, and caregivers can share experiences, learn practical strategies, and gain insights that will empower them to support learners in ways that honor their individuality. I had the tongue twist. Here, every learner, regardless of ability, is recognized for their potential and celebrated for who they are. As we embark on today's event, I encourage you, I encourage each of us, let us appreciate every session. Give it your best. Be open, be curious. We're here to learn and relearn and unlearn if possible. Let's give this seminar a readiness to rethink assumptions. We're having fantastic speakers who are well seasoned. I need you to make the best use of this opportunity. If you know anyone that needs to be here, if you know any parent that needs to hear this, if you know any caregiver that needs an encouragement, if you know anyone that is weary, please share the link and let them join today. Let us remember that behind every label, there is a child with unique strengths, aspirations, and the capacity to thrive when given the right support. It is my pleasure now to introduce the focus of my presentation beyond the autism label. Together, we will explore this, the abilities, the potential, and the ways we can move beyond limiting perceptions to foster environments that truly nurture growth, independence, and success. I want to thank the S.E.N department for an awesome job. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you for all you do for our special needs learners. Thank you all also for being part of this important conversation. May this summit inspire us, equip us, and remind us of the incredible power of inclusion, understanding, and empowerment. We look forward to a great time of learning. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. And I think up next, we'll be having our anchor back so that we can dive right in. I am so excited for the speakers that will be sharing with us. So let me welcome Ms. Charity back on the show.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for that wonderful official welcome speech that you just gave. We appreciate you, ma. Thank you so much. Just like the director rightfully said, get ready to be impacted tonight. Tell somebody on that chat, tell somebody, get ready to be impacted. Get ready to be impacted tonight. Without wasting much time, we want to use this medium to welcome our very first speaker for tonight. Join me as I bring up Mrs. Ngozi Joy Belolisa.
Mrs. Ngozi Joy Balalisa is a passionate, visionary, and highly respected educator with over 20 years of professional experience in transforming learning environments and championing inclusion for children of all abilities across Nigeria. As the executive director of Safe Host International Initiative, she has led groundbreaking work in inclusive education, child safeguarding, psychosocial support, and climate-responsive learning. Under her leadership, Safe Host Inclusive School now serves 200-plus learners, including 50 children with special needs, through a curriculum that integrates academics, life skills, and climate education. A strong child protection advocate, she has led key safeguarding initiatives and is trained in trauma-informed teaching and special needs intervention. Her efforts have increased enrollment of children with disabilities by 35% and established annual inclusive education workshops. Let's welcome Mrs. Ngozi Joy Balalisa.
Hello, hello.
So
Can you hear
welcome,
me?
ma.
Thank you so
So
much.
good to have you here, ma.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. Um, Dual Leading Light Schools. I give it up to you for the great job you are doing. I'm so excited whenever I see an inclusive environment, an inclusive school that takes care of the neurotypical as well as the neurodivergent learners. It's a great job that you're doing. And I want to say thank you so much to the executive director and all your team. God bless you for what you do. And for all the right holders, you know yourselves, the parents of the special needs children, the caregivers, the therapists, those at the S.E.N department. I want you to give yourself a great hug. You hug yourself for me. God bless you. We appreciate all you're doing. And thank you for putting together this great summit as it were. Now I hope the technical team are ready. We are going to learn quite a lot today. And I want us to have an open mind. Be ready with your questions. Please be ready with your questions, with your observations, so we can work together. We're here to rub minds and to encourage one another. The therapists, they need you on board. And the therapists, they need you on board. The parents, they need the therapist. If we work together, then we'll be able to achieve the goal set out for our children. The most important thing is that our children will be made to live the life they are created for, that they'll be able to fulfill potentials. And so, as we take this topic this night, building resilience and consistency, sustaining therapy gains beyond the school, we need to look at beyond the school environment. So, as we look at this topic together, I want us to know that we need each other in this journey, just for the sake of our children, for them to fulfill purpose, to live independent life and be able to do that which they have called to do on this planet Earth. Are we together? Okay, the technical team, the first slide, please. Yes, this training aims to equip parents and caregivers alike, therapists, and all that are concerned to understand how to sustain therapy gains at home, ensuring long-term growth and real-life application. Why are we talking about beyond the school? Beyond the school, we don't want these therapy techniques, methods, and all our children have learned to end up in the school. We want it to play out in the real-life environment. And the home, our society as a whole, is where the real life will be lived, where they will be able to, project what they have learned and then integrate into the society. Okay, we look at the objective. One is to empower parents to act as co-therapists. Now, every right holder, when we talk about the right holder, you know yourself, we need you to come on board. Therapy work is not left for only those paid by the parents. It's for all of us. To build resilience in children through daily routines. Remember, from home, the children go to school and they come back to home. Okay, so our daily routines must be looked at. We are going to talk about all this in details. Maintain consistency between school and home. There has to be this synergy coming together in agreement. My holy book tells me that two cannot work together except they agree. So this synergy between the home and the school must be well maintained. Strengthen parents' therapy partnership. There has to be this partnership that is so strong that it has to work. All right, next slide. Next slide, please. Therapy gains. What do we mean by therapy gains? By therapy gains, we mean those little, very, very little, sometimes not well noticed, not very, very visible improvements that our children, exhibit. Those are the therapy gains. Those positive improvements seen in our children's skills in terms of communication, behavior, Self-skill helps, independent living, they may look so minute, very little, but then we know that moving from point A to point B has to be great. It has to be recognized. So these are the therapy gains. They are the therapy. Remember, the therapy gains at school need continuous reinforcement at home. When the teachers, the therapists have worked in the school, they need to be maintained at home. Like I said earlier on, we're going to take them one by one and then look at practical, skills on how to, get this, continue with the therapy work the therapists have done at school, at home. Inconsistency can cause regression or relapse. Inconsistency. If the therapists have done some great work at school, and then from the moment the children are picked from school, in the car, while they are going home, and then right in the home, if they do not see the same consistency followed by the therapist at school, then it will not work. Inconsistency can bring relapse or reduce the efforts or the progress that we have seen in our children. The home plays a very important role in sustaining progress. The home plays a very important role, and this cannot be overlooked. All right. Let's take, for instance, if in the school, the therapists and the teachers have taught the child turn taking. Turn taking. Before you do anything, you have to take turn. You don't rush. Some of our children can be spontaneous. But then the therapist has sat in the school to teach the child about turn taking, and the child is able to control him or herself. And then as soon as the child is being picked by the mom or the dad or the aunt or the uncle, the child keeps, rushing through things, picking what they shouldn't pick, taking and then the parents keep quiet. Are we getting it now? Consistency. If we do not say, stop, is it your turn? Is it your own? Have you said, excuse me? The 5 wonder words you learned in school, are you practicing it? If we do not follow through, then there won't be progress. The progress will not be noticed as we, or as it ought to be. Next slide, please. And then we come to the key words. Remember, tonight we are talking about resilience and consistency. Resilience and consistency. Let's look at the key word resilience. What do we mean by resilience? Resilience means the ability to bounce back after a challenge. It is the ability to withstand, recover, and grow stronger in the face of adversity. It could be, the adversity could be trauma, it could be stress. It is the ability to learn from experience and emerge stronger. That is resilience. And this is the skill we want to impart in our children to make sure that our children know that this is real life situation. How do we impact? How do we build it in our children? So number one, we say we encourage small wins. Most of the time, we are looking for the big achievements, forgetting that every little win, every little shift in the character, in the behavior, in the speech for the children who we are training to speak more. Assuming a child is able to say ba, ma. Oh, for someone who has not said it before, it's a little win. It's a small win that should be celebrated, should be encouraged. So to build resilience in our children and get them to, cooperate with us, help us to continue this journey, we need to encourage small, little wins here and there. We should praise every effort, not perfection. Here we are not talking about perfection. We are talking about moving from point A to point B. The goals we have set for our children. Assuming we are potty training a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and the child is able for once on her own to move from her seat, directing her gaze towards the toilet. That's a small way. That's a great effort that we should encourage. Because from directing her gaze to the restroom, oh, we know that the next thing is for her to move. Remember, that wasn't so. From age 1, age 2, age 3, a child is not potty trained, age 5, and then at age 6 or more, or because we have more of them, maybe 8, 9, 10, they're still wearing diaper. And then a therapist is able to get this child to the point of when they are pressed, they know, first of all, that they are pressed, and then they get up and direct their gaze towards the restroom. Wow, that is a great effort, and that should be praised. Oh, my dear, you're looking at the restroom. Let's go. You encourage the child. For most of us, I'm talking about myself, I'm talking about therapists, I'm talking about parents, aunties around, the uncles are house helps, the paid workers. If they do not know that that is a great effort from our children, they may just overlook it. They may just say, the way they talk to that child may help to discourage that child. So every little effort must be praised. Not perfection yet, because we are moving daily onto perfection with the strategies that have been put in place. Another way to encourage and build resilience in our children is to model calmness during challenges. Our children observe so much. They know us. They may not understand so much, but emotionally they can pick even much more than we know. And so on our own part, especially the therapists, the workers, the parents working directly with our children, we should model. What do you want this child to learn? Model it for the child. You are the first port of call. The child is observing. The child knows when you're angry from the tone of your voice. They know if you like them. They know if you hate them. They know what you are saying. They gossip. What you are saying with your colleague about them. They understand. So what are we modeling in front of our children? Model calmness during challenges. Another point is teach self-help and problem-solving skills. If we need to build resilience in our children, we must teach them. Don't say, oh, you should know this. Why don't you know this? All your mates are doing it. Why are you not doing it? Let's teach them. You want your child to say, please, I need this. Teach your child what to say at every point in time. You're potty training a child, teach the child what to do and stay on it patiently. That patience you're modeling for that child. Next slide, please. Yes, these two words, resilience and consistency. Please, consistency. Let's talk about consistency. Go back a bit. Go back. Yes. We talked about resilience. We are talking about consistency now. What do we mean by consistency? Consistency is about showing up and staying and following through tasks. Staying until a task is completed. We need to teach our children this. That is the word, consistency. It builds trust. It's the key to developing habits, achieving goals, and making progress. Now, this consistency, what are the practical ways we can build this in the lives of our children? Keep a steady routine for meals, for play, for study. Not just at school. At school, the therapists, they know what to do. But what about home? What about when we pick them from school? We need to set a routine, set up routines and firmness in whatever routine you set. During meals, we should eat neatly on the table. We should not soil our dresses. During play, you should not play rough. Don't pinch another person. No biting. Let this be consistently done. And then it is time to study. During studies, whenever we have the opportunity, there could be incidental learning. When a child does something or something comes up, you stay on it and use it to teach a child. For instance, you're trying to feed a child, and then you're doing hand over hand. This, to put food in your mouth. Okay, it's remaining two more. You model two more with hand over hand the child. You putting the food in the child's mouth and say, wow, you have eaten one and it's remaining one. During study, consistency. Another method or another way to encourage consistency in our children is reinforce therapy strategies at home. There are so many therapy strategies. And this is not the therapists, they don't have monopoly to them. And that is why this training, empowerment is so good, because we want everyone to be on board. We want every family member to be on board, to know these therapy methods. I have said quite a lot already. If you were listening, you would have heard one or two. Hand over hand, incidental learning, and then we talk. There are so many of them. It will keep coming as we continue. Communicate regularly with teachers and therapists. We are talking about building consistency. Next slide, please. Parents as partners. Parents, we are on this. Like I said earlier on, I said you're a right holder. You're the right holder. So we need you as partners to work in this vineyard. Parents are the bridge between therapy and real life. The real life, the society as a whole. The therapists, the caregivers, the teachers, they cannot be with your child all the time. After school, what next? As we go to the marketplace, as we go to parties, birthday parties, traditional outings, to the church, to the neighborhood, we need you parents as partners to come on board. You can do this by using therapy techniques at home. Maintaining open communication with the school, record progress and challenges, so that when there is opportunity for a meeting with your child's therapist, you can discuss. Give them good record of what you have put down, the progress the child has made, and so on and so forth. Being patient and celebrating small progress. Most of the time, we are not patient with our children. We are like, no, my other child did it at 2 years. This one is 5 years. He's not doing, we keep moving our children from one school to the other, from one therapist to the other. But what is required of us is just a little patience, consistency, being there, getting knowledge, applying it, communicating very well with your child's therapists and teachers, and then continuing at home. Next slide, please. Building a supportive home. Now, when we talk about building a supportive home, in building a supportive home, there is what we call environmental engineering. It starts from the home. Most of the time, we have children who are hyperactive, who are on the spectrum, who do not really, have that cognitive ability as per age, chronological age as against cognitive age. How do we set our homes? Do we leave it to be the same way as other homes are? Most of the time, because of our children, we do what is known as environmental engineering. If there is something that will harm the child that is too active, we remove it. If a child is on gluten-free diet, the whole family have to join. Yes. Building a supportive home. A supportive home where all the visitors coming to the home, the aunties, the uncles, the grandma, the grandpa, they know that this is the routine set for the child. Building a supportive home. I think I'm going ahead of my time. Let's take what is on the slide. Set aside specific times for therapy-based activities. Therapy-based activities could be at any point in time. Remember, I talked about the setting of the home. How is the layout of the sitting room? How is the layout of the corridor? The child's room. What type of light is there? What type of curtain? What type of paint is there? What are those things that the child reacts to? Are we, sensitive enough to make sure that we make the home supportive? So during therapy-based activities, it may be right there in your sitting room that you may have to get your softball or get your small trampoline for the child to jump on. Is there a room where the child can find solace when the child has sensory overloads? These are what we are talking about. Use visuals or charts to remind your child. I talked about potty training. Do we have supportive diagrams all over the home? Something like this. I have a child that we are teaching to stand, a boy, we are teaching to stand and use the restroom. This should be placed in the home, in the toilet, at the door, inside, everywhere. That is building a supportive home. Building a supportive home. You're teaching the child about emotions. Do we have things all around? It's not only in the school. These things are not only in the school. They should be at home. What are we teaching the child? About the jealous face, envious face, hateful face, and so on and so forth. Do we have visuals in our home, not only in the school? In our homes, do we have them all over the place to teach? Remember, we agreed that we're going to teach. What our children don't know, we teach them patiently. Use visuals or charts to remind your child, it's time for so thing. Not that your child did not hear you, but he needs an additional. Sorry, I did not start with the definition of forms of disability. But disability means any limitation or restriction. Limitation or restriction. Additional need, extra need. That is disability, any form. It could be physical, it could be psychosocial, it could be intellectual. When we talk about dyslexia and so on and so forth. Remember, we are talking about using visuals or charts to remind a child. You have taught a child how to spell door. Why not just write door and place it near the door? D-O-O-R, it is there on the door. Your child will learn it. Are we together? I need an encouragement. Can we hear me? Thank you. Thank you. Include fun elements like songs and play. These are the things therapists use in school. And they have great successes. So as parents, as caregivers, as members of the family and the society as a whole, we should learn all these things. You want to teach your child, the child that cannot flow. What if you turn that lesson into song? Your child will understand. He will pay attention. Involve siblings. Thank you. I can see someone saying incorporating visuals and all the rest. Involve siblings. Incorporating visual cues and so on. Yes, thank you so much. You're listening. I give it up for you. Involve siblings positively. Don't allow the siblings of a child with special needs to feel aloof, to be aloof, not to care about the other. No, 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 no. Every member of the family, the father, the mother, the grandma, the grandpa, the uncles and the aunts, and special friends, as long as you're coming into this family, you should respect our child's well-being. That is when we are building supportive home. Next slide, please. Reinforcement. Reinforcement is a very big term. It's a very big term for those in the special needs space. But here we are just talking about rewards, encouragements. Okay, rewards, encouragements. That's what we are talking about here. All right. Encouragement motivates consistency. If we encourage our children, if we show them that we realize and we recognize what they are doing, their little, seemingly little efforts, they will do more. Now, tips. Use verbal praise. You can just say it. You did it. You did. Oh, you tried. You can use, I'm so proud of you. Oh, give me a hug. High five. Thumbs up for you. Those are verbal praise. It's not every time. You did not do this well. You did not do this. What is this? Others are doing it. You're not doing that. Your verbal praise can go a long way to encourage our children to be consistent, to have that resilience we are looking for, to learn what we want to teach them. Small rewards for efforts. It could be something as small as a sticker, as chop knuckles, as give me a hug yourself, kiss your brain, and so on and so forth. Those little rewards, that's what we mean by reinforcement or rewards to encourage consistency. Focus on the process, not the perfection. Avoid harsh criticisms. Redirect instead. You're teaching a child to do something and he's just not getting it. Can you redirect? Can you think of another way? I recently saw a father on TikTok or so, teaching the child subtraction. And when he got so exhausted, he brought apples, 6 apples on the table. And they counted it, and then we just asked the child, give me this number, and the child, and then how many is remaining? And the child was not getting it. But he stayed on it. Be consistent. Redirect instead. It could be that you're teaching about apple or the spelling of apple, and the child is not getting. Just turn it and ask, what color is this? You can start talking about the color. You can start, you can just introduce something else just to make sure that you encourage the child to know that you will get it. You're not getting it now, but you will get it later. You're making great effort, and every little effort should be encouraged. I like that. Your child does not need your sympathy, but your empathy. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. Building emotional resilience. Building emotional resilience. Now, there's something we need to understand here as parents and therapists working. And for our children who have one limitation or restriction in any form, in any way, I want you to understand that their emotions are growing per age. their spiritual well-being, their emotions are growing per age. That is why your child knows when you're happy and when you're not happy. When you say something that hurts them, they know. So for us to build emotional resilience in them, we must be intentional. How do we support emotional well-being? We can do that by, one, listening without judgment. Sometimes we are training our children to gain more vocabulary, to speak more, to sound more, to be more attentive. What do? We need to listen more. Be patient with them. Some of our children stutter. They stammer so much that we just brush them aside. Oh, let another person. What are you even saying? Such things hurt their emotions. Remember where we started. Their emotions are growing per age, even if cognitively they are not growing per age. Naming emotions. And that's why I brought this, different faces and all that. You can help your child to state how he's feeling. Are you sad? Tell me why you're sad. What happened today? Why is it that you're feeling this way? What made you happy? Are you mad at what so person did? And so on and so forth. You can help your child to name the emotions they are feeling, because sometimes they feel certain things and they don't know how to say it. They don't even understand what they are feeling. We can help them to name their emotions. Modeling coping strategies. When you're angry, how do you show you're angry? When they have done something wrong, how do you correct them? These are modeling. The way you handle it will help them to learn what you're saying, allowing space for mistakes and learning. Remember, these children have not been on this path before. They're just coming up. Sometimes we say you're supposed to know this. Your age mates know. They don't know it. Let's allow space for mistakes. Next slide, please. Maintaining communication. All right. Maintaining communication. Stay connected with your child therapist. What did you people do today? What happened today? Sometimes parents and the family members are so much in a hurry that they forget that the therapists have been specifically trained to know the techniques and the methods to use to reach our children. And usually they do. They get the children to comply. So why not communicate with them? Ask them, how did you get this child to eat this food? This child, whenever I give her food in the house, she doesn't collect from me. They will tell you the method. It could be that the therapist just starts singing whenever it's time for food. It could be they start dancing what type of dance. It could be there's something they do. Or they just remain firm, and consistent in asking the child to do the right thing. So by the time we are able to communicate with the therapist, we'll be able to know how to maintain communication, share updates regularly, ask for home activity ideas. We're talking to ourselves now. Use a communication notebook or WhatsApp group. Sometimes we are so much in a hurry, but when we get home, at our quiet time, you can use your WhatsApp group or your phones and so on and so forth to communicate. Attend school parent therapy meetings. That is how to maintain communication. All right. Next slide, please. Next slide. Common challenges parents face. No, go back. Go back. Yes, thank you. Limited time or energy. Now the therapists, the caregivers, the teachers, that is their work. So all their energy is in, working with our children. But then for parents, most parents are so busy at the office and in their work. And so when they come back, they are so exhausted. These are the challenges our parents face. We know that. We recognize that. child resistance or emotional breakdowns, inconsistent routines at home. You may have set your routines, and then, or from the blues, somebody comes from the village. Am I communicating? Somebody comes from the village and we want to carry your child that you have taught to be independent, to be able to feed himself or herself, and you find one auntie or grandma feeding the child for you. All right, inconsistent routines at home. I hope there are right holders here. Hello, parents. Challenges parents face: stress or burnout. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Solution. Now let's look at solution, because we are here tonight for solution. Simplify the routines. I'm telling you, by time at home you do a supportive environment, environmental engineering, no matter the visitor that comes and sees that your television is up, or there's no television in the sitting room, or that you have your posters, spellings here and there, the words you want your child to learn for that week, all spelled out in one corner or the other, they will align. The problem we have is that we have not done the environmental engineering. We have not set our home to suit that one child. You may have 4 or 5 children, but because of one child, everyone is not eating a certain type of food. Everyone is coming together to do one thing just because of that one child. By the time we set it up, no matter the intruder, no matter the visitor, when they come and see such setting, they will align. They will align. Seek support from therapists. Sometimes you have to invite therapists and teachers at your home to come and do home therapy. All right? Take care of yourself too. We need you to be strong for us. Next slide. Checklist. Daily guides. Morning routines. At home, what are the things we do at home? Like I said, we can have them listed out. We have a visual timetable. We wake up so time. You see a picture of someone waking up and the child sees it. And the child sees it's time to lay our bed. She sees a picture of someone laying bed. And then after laying the bed, we see someone brushing the teeth. We see someone getting into the bath to shower. And so on those routines, we need it to be spelled out, not just at school. That is what helps us at school. The therapists, they know how to tell our children, after this, then this. A child wants to go out to play, and the therapist will say, oh, look at, it's time to do this. After this, we'll do this. And the child will comply. At home, if we do the same, it will work. So setting routines, not just morning, but routines at home. Greetings, self-help task. This is how to bring out your clothes. You bring out your clothes, you lay it this way, and as you want to put it on, you pick it like this, your head and your right hand, left hand, and then you pull it down. All right, so morning routines should be set, afternoon routines, review skills or practice fine motor skills. Evening routines, storytelling, emotional check-ins, end of week, note progress and praise effort. Daily guides. These things can be structured at home. If you notice that your child is improving in one area or the other, call the therapist, call the school. How did you achieve this? Can we do this like this? Do this like, yes. They'll be able to help you set up things like that. Because ultimately, we want our children to succeed. And so we have to set the stage for them to succeed by making sure that we have, the routine set out well. Practical activities at home. How many minutes more do I have? Hello? Hello? Okay. Practical activities at home. Okay, just let me do a rounding up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Practical activities at home. Communication. Ask open-ended questions. Please try to avoid asking yourself, asking your children the questions that will, generate only yes or no answers. Avoid it. Avoid it. Avoid it. How are you? Fine. Why not just ask your child, how are you feeling? Tell me how you feel. That will help the child to talk, narrate. How are you? Fine. Avoid using how. Try using questions that will generate more answers, that will get the child thinking. Fine motor, buttoning. We can teach our children how to button. Don't just be in too much a hurry to do it for them. They can do it. Sorting, drawing. When we talk about sorting, it's as simple as mixing rice and beans together and asking the child to put beans here and leave the rice on the plate. Simple. Or you can get different beads, different colors, and then have a container where you ask them to put this color here, put this color here, put that sorting. And you're dealing with an ADHD child, the child that cannot sit still. But because of the mixture of those colors and you ask them to sort it out, they'll be able to do it. Sit still for at least 10, 15, 20 minutes, sorting it out while you're busy attending to another matter. Okay, sensory play, texture games. You can bring out different clothes and ask your child to sort this way, sort this way, and sort that way. Sand tray or sand play. You can have sand that you have thoroughly washed, and disinfected very well, brought into your home and ask them to play with it. Most of the time they may have to wear gloves, but you have cleaned it up very well. They can play with the sand. Emotional, identify emotions with picture cards. All right. Next slide, please. Reflection moments. What therapy strategy has worked best at home? What challenges do you face maintaining routines? What support do you need from the school? These are discussion, questions, and we need to handle them if we have the time. Okay, next slide. Growth mindset, encouraging a growth mindset. Children thrive when they believe they can try, improve. They thrive when they believe they can improve. Say this instead of that. You can't do it yet, instead of saying you can't do it. You didn't do it right. Keep trying instead of what's wrong with you, you're not getting it. Just encourage the child by saying keep trying, let's find another way. That's redirecting growth mindset in our children. Next slide, please. Because of time, we are rushing. Collaboration is key. When parents, teachers, and therapists work together, therapy gains are sustained. How can we collaborate? Share feedbacks, set joint goals. What goals do you have for your child? Is there a different one at school and then another one at home? At school, we are struggling to get the child to write 1 to 5, but at home, you want the child to write 1 to 20. That's different goals. Let's have different things we are working on. Celebrate successes together. Oh, my child was able to do this. Oh, praise God, he's doing well. Everyone is happy for the child. Your teacher said you did this. Give me high five. Well done. You're doing well. That synergy is so important. Sustaining progress over time. Be patient. Growth takes time. Stay flexible with your routine. There are times you need to redirect. Yes, you have set a routine, but the child is overloaded. There's this sensory issue that is coming up. Instead of staying there, the therapists, they do it at school. Sometimes the therapist has observed the child and he knows that this child can no longer function. They take the child out. We call them breaks, brain breaks. It could be just to use the trampoline or just to take fresh air outside, and then you come back. Learning continues. Keep communication open, record progress with photos or notes. Encourage independence step by step. Key takeaways. Therapy continues at home. Resilience is built through patience and encouragement. Consistency sustains progress. Consistency, the ability to stay true until a task is completed. Parents are partners in a child's success. Every small effort counts. Next. Closing motivation. Every small effort at home creates a big difference in your child's journey. And on this note, I'd like to say a thank you. And I await your comments, your questions. It's a whole lot. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so very much, ma'am. Our notepad are full and we will be ready to ask you some questions at the end of this event. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Joy Ngozi Bello Lisa, for that powerful practical presentations you just shared with us. We deeply appreciate your expertise and wisdom. Thank you so much. Up next, we will listen to some of our amazing parents as they share personal experiences, lessons, and victories in supporting their children's therapeutic journey at home and at school. Their stories highlight the importance of partnership and consistency. Let's proceed to our testimonial sessions.
I never knew as a first-time mom that he was diagnosed with autism, ADHD, precise. Good morning, my name is Mrs. Chioma Charles Abel. I'm Chibueze's mom. I just want to say how far Chibueze has gone, his progress reports from Juice Leading Lights Academy since 2015. Chibueze, I remember when I had him, I never knew as a first-time mom that he was diagnosed with autism, ADHD, precise. The school called my attention to it. That day I was devastated, but Mrs. Obor was able to calm me down. So since then, his progress report has been fantastic. A lot of milestone changes. Chibueze never used to have in good eye contact, but now he's very good. His eye contact is very good. He stopped diapers, his potty training, everything is perfect. And all with the help of the school and God. His speech is coming out a little, which we believe with time God will perfect on. I also want to appreciate Mrs. Obor. I also want to appreciate the educators, the therapists. They have really been doing a good job. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Atigwe Priscilla. I'm Sentus mom, and today we are here for the Act Exhibition and Acquisition, Acquisition and Act Exhibition Day. Today has been fun. Everyone has been active. The children, they've shown us like how much they've learned, and we've seen improvement in the children. And I'm happy that I'm here today, that I'm part of this event. And I'm always happy because Joel Leading Light is like all the time trying to show us the work, not only by hearsay, like we see the work, we see the improvement on the children. And we are glad that we are getting as much as we are investing. Thank you very much.
She's my sister, my younger sister. Okay, she joined the program like she joined before, like this time she came to do her summer school year. Before that time, we've had issues with potty training, with demonstrating on her own, and even when she eats on her own, it's her hands. She's always mashing her food together and rubbing it all over her body, things like that. And okay, she was not consistently responding to her name. You call her, come here, come here, come here. She'll never answer you. Half of the time, you think, okay, maybe half of the time she'll look your direction, but like you're never sure if she's answering to her name. So she started the program in August, yes, for the summer school. The first thing we like noticed was like, okay, she was allowing us to put her on the toilet to go and pee. Normally, even if you put her on the toilet, she will fight you. She will be crying and all that. So now you put her on the toilet, she will pee. And for the last 2-3 weeks now, she has been going to the toilet by herself. Even like we don't have to put her, we don't have to like put her, like we don't have to like time it. Sometimes you just where is she? She has already gone to the toilet. She's down. She has put her pants down. She's already peeing by herself. She's pooping by herself. So like she has already started taking initiative. Like she knows when to go now. Then with her food too. Now she's already using cutleries, mostly fork now. She's not really using spoon. She uses her fork, but we still have to correct her. But at least it's better than before with using her hands and fingers. So now even when we are out now, we can just request for like plates and for her to just dish it. And before she was mostly on milk 2 years, but now we've been able to cut out the milk completely, like even the sugar and screen time to be able to do that. Sometimes with her siblings, you just have to maneuver it. We take her downstairs when they want to watch TV and all that. And like even schoolwork now, before too it was fight, but now she knows when it's time to like do her schoolwork. Even if she'll be crying and she'll be doing this, but at least she'll sit down and now even as brothers work too, coloring, she's mostly interested in coloring too. She like want to color, so we just give her like a piece of paper to just scribble and color on that. Then see many improvements, many improvements, and we're hoping to see more. Because now, okay, I think she's more verbal, more songs, 1, 2, 3, just spontaneous 1, 2, 3, and like she can identify it now. She has a book, so when she's at home, just see that Miss in a corner, 1, 2, 3, like like this one. I know that she's not like reciting it from the top of her head, like she's pointing at it and like, okay, she knows this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Sometimes you point at it and she will answer, sometimes she will not answer, but at least it's a far improvement from before. Like she did not know, okay, this was 1, this 2, this 3. She was just saying it from the top of her head. But now she knows, okay, this is 1, even ABC 2. She knows this is A, this is B, this is 3, this is C. And she's consistently saying it. That one was just like off chance. Okay, she just say it. We are not sure if that, like she just knows it or she just repeating it or something. This one now, I know she's sure. Like 1, 2, 3. If her brothers are singing, she will join them. Some songs too, like they have their own anime song. Like I see she knows it, so she's already saying it out, and like it's very nice.
Wow. Thank you so much, our dear parents, for that heartfelt and motivating testimonies. Wow, thank you so very much. We appreciate you. We will now proceed to the second keynote of the evening. Our speaker is the president of the Association of Play Therapy Nigeria, a child-centered therapist and advocate. If your hands are not too busy wherever you are, please put them together as I welcome Mrs. Lami T.
Mrs. Lami T. Gidado is the president of the Association of Play Therapy Nigeria. She's a play therapist, child development specialist, and advocate passionate about transforming lives through therapeutic play, cross-cultural dialogue, and early childhood development. She's also a wife and a mother of 2 boys. With over 2 decades of experience working with children, educators, caregivers, and systems across Nigeria and beyond, she believes in the healing and empowering power of play. Let's welcome Mrs. Lami T. Gidado.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Charity. Thank you for having me.
Good evening. Welcome,
I hope
Ma.
you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not sure. Can you hear me? Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the response in the chats. Someone said you can hear me. Can I have my slides up, please? While they're doing that, I just want to say thank you for to Jules for having me here. I'm always delighted to speak about the impact of play, and I will be talking about nurturing wholeness through play, empowering parents as partners. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yes, so today I know that we have a mix of parents and schools. So part of what I want to do is I hope that we'll be able to, help parents to make your home a nurturing environment for holistic development and for, to be able to gain confidence in advocating for your child. Like the first speaker said, you are the first advocate for your child. And so you have to keep on learning along the way, along with the school. And for the schools, I hope that we can consider the impacts that play can have in the work that we do with children that we care for. I will start by talking about play and the brain, how the brain learns, and it is mostly through play. And also games for holistic development, and then outdoor play for holistic development. Next slide, please. So Plato, some of you would know who Plato is because if you went to university, I'm sure you would have heard the name Plato. A great philosopher who says that you can discover more about a child in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. If you have worked with children using play before, I'm sure you can testify that this is true. Because if you have children in a formal setting, you may not know the child throughout the 1 year that the child will spend in your class. But if you allow the child to play in their own way, you're going to discover more about that child. Next slide. And then this is a psychiatrist and a physician. And he says that nothing lights up a child's brain like play. I hope that with what I'm going to present, you're going to see that that is true, not just for children, but for all human beings, that there's absolutely nothing that lights up your brain like play. And you will see that in the next few slides, because it is through play that we sort of activate all the parts of our brain. And then there's brain integration, there's sensory integration because of that. Next slide. And then the almighty Albert Einstein says that play is the highest form of research. It's the highest form of research because you're learning new things through play. You're discovering, you're connecting the dots, so all of that. So I'm just starting by, speaking about the powers of play. Play is a very powerful tool in helping children with special needs. Can you move on to the next slide? Okay, so the brain learns through the senses, like I mentioned, and play supports this. And the way that it does is that, so the brain's ability to receive and respond is through sensory inputs. We know all the senses, right? And the impact that it has on children is that it's the efficient sensory processing leads to skill mastery. So the more children learn, the more that they're becoming masters of a particular skill that you're trying to teach them. And it's the greatest way to help children to learn attention skills and also behavioral and self-regulation skills, right? And then there's more impact, like I said, the sensory integration. Unfortunately, we are only activating parts of the brain. So you can imagine that if a child only sits down to receive from a teacher. You put the child down in front of you only to learn from you that you are always the leader when it comes to children. We may end up not activating all the parts of the brain. And this is the impact that play has. It activates all parts of the brain, most especially the prefrontal cortex. That's the front part of the brain that can only be taught through activities, that people can learn only when they discover things by themselves and not by sitting down and hearing somebody else tell them what to do, right? And that's the part of the brain that is responsible for our emotions, our judgment, and many other skills. And then the signs of poor sensory processing can include inappropriate behavior, anxiety, and poor social skills. And who needs it more than a child with special needs, right? Because they're already dealing with these issues that I mentioned. So we're going to talk about how we can make our home and our classroom, sensory rich. Can we move on to the next slide? Yeah, so most of my slides have to do with, practical stuff, like practical things that you can do rather than just hearing, like theory. So again, like we mentioned, that the brain learns through the senses. So play supports sensory integration. We know the senses, right? Most of us know the 5 senses, but I'm sure a lot of us know that there are at least 8 senses. In fact, they say that there are 10 senses now, right? And so I have the 8 here that I want to just talk about. How can we, you know, feed the senses in our homes and in the and in the school? How can we feed the senses? So when it comes to sight, we want our spaces to be colorful. We want to make it language rich, right? You want to put all kinds of things in your classroom and even the home. You want to make it language rich. You want food choices, variety, different colors of food. Your facial expression is part of sight. What are the children seeing on your face? Is it incongruent with the things that you're saying, the words that you're saying? Children have to see that your facial expression is welcoming, that they can trust you, that they feel safe, right? And then also modeling the right behavior is part of sight, right? And then smell. You can have smell jars in your home and in your classroom. What I mean is that just having like maybe like an empty container of mayonnaise, for example, and put different scents, on cotton wool and, close it. So children should have the experience of trying different scents. So maybe you can have vanilla flavor, you can have banana, you can have something pepperish, you can have cinnamon or garlic or things like that children can smell. I usually use spices and sometimes I use essential oils, for smell jars. And it activates the brain for children with learning disabilities. Then having different air fresheners, but also being sensitive to needs, because sometimes it can be sensory overload, right? So you may want to start with something mild and see what it's like for the child that you care for. Having all kinds of things like baked and cooked foods that we can smell also can help with sensory integration. Then there's taste, right? You want to give them the experience of spicy or sour, bitter, sweet, bland, all of that. And then there's hearing. Your home can be filled with music, all kinds of music, right? Part of hearing is also words of affirmation. The first speaker mentioned praises and encouragement. So these children need a lot of that. They need a lot of encouraging words from you. And then also your voice variation also matters. Sometimes it can be a whisper, sometimes it can be loud. When we are outside, we can use our outside voice. When we're inside, so having all of that voice variation can also encourage brain stimulation. Clapping, making all kinds of joyful noises, using musical instruments, they can all help in brain integration. And then there's touch. Again, she mentioned some of this. You can have sand, all kinds of sand. In your classroom, you can, well, for me, I live in Jos, but I had to find beach sand from the east. You know, someone brought it for me. So, but you can use any type of sand that is clean, right? You can have clay, fidgets, toys, water, foods, slimy, different types, different textures, right? And then there's the sense of proprioceptive sense, right? So that has to do with movement. So you want to be able to have children push tires, skipping, things like sway or hopscotch, jumping on the trampoline, tug of war, finger painting, hopping, crawling, obstacle courses. And then there's the vestibular sense, which has to do with balance. So swinging can help with that, riding bicycles, scooters, dancing, playing tag, running around. There's the interoceptive sense, which is one that many people are not aware of. And that has to do with actually feeling your body sensations, right? Making connections between your emotions with the part of the body that you're feeling that emotion. For example, hunger is an emotion. Where are you feeling the hunger, right? Anxiety is an emotion. Where are you feeling it? So being able to feel your body. So working on curbs, drawing emotions, feelings charts, swimming, breathing exercises can help with all of that. So this can work both at home and in school. All right, next slide. So outdoor play is great, and I want to talk about outdoor play specifically because we do a lot of okay, we know that we should buy some manipulatives in the classroom, but outdoor play is also very beneficial for children with special needs, right? Because they are able to engage their whole bodies when they are outside. When they're outside, children can run, they can jump, crawl, climb, and explore freely. They have the space to move their bodies the way that they choose to, right? We have a child in our center with autism, and he runs around. You have to chase him, catch him, and all of that. And so the teacher decided to get a rope that is safe, tie it around his waist, and tie the other end of the rope to a tire. And so he has to slow down, pull the tire that is heavy for him. But as he's doing that, he's feeling his body. She's teaching him how to feel his body sensations, how to feel that he's tired, right? To slow down and feel his body, right? But then there are other things that are happening as he does that. Then it's also freedom from adult interference. So children can explore the way that they want to, and that encourages independence, right? And then problem solving, creativity. That's where the front part of the brain is developing. And then it's also inspiration from nature, which can also help children to self-regulate. Natural environments in general can enhance brain connectivity. All right, next slide. Okay. So we know that there's a decline in outdoor play, and it's amazing how I think a lot of parents, I know how stressful it can be caring for children with learning disabilities. So many parents turn to media, right? Put the child in front of the TV. You hear parents saying that the child is learning, but then you need to ask if your child is really, really learning, especially when they say that they're able to repeat what is said in on TV. And for me, that's even already a red flag, right? So there's been a decline in outdoor play, unfortunately, compared to previous generations. Children today spend less time playing outside, and this is counterproductive to the work that we're doing and what we want to achieve. The more they can play outside, the more all of this brain integration can come into play. We're also overscheduling children with activities. I have a child in play therapy right now, and I've realized that he is overscheduled. He's overscheduled, especially when we have children with learning disability. We feel that more is better, but actually less is more. So children are overscheduled. I would, it would be great if parents and caregivers can just know that reducing play can be counterproductive to what you want to do or what you want to achieve in the child. So that's something for us to be aware of. And parents' concerns about safety and other irritations of neighbors is something that is also making us to reduce the playtime for children. And you can create safety for your child in your own environment. And then, of course, the fear of lacking competency in outdoor risk taking. Yes, and that's why that's why it's counterproductive, because the more we say, oh, I don't want my child to hurt themselves, I don't want them to fall down, I don't want them to have a scrape and all of that, the more we do that, the more we're reducing their ability to take risks. And so the more they're going to keep on depending on us, especially children with learning disabilities. Next slide. Okay, so the risks of less outdoor play. So the consequences, what we'll see is that there will be a decline in creative thinking. That's where children can, just explore and, have the freedom of choice and all of that. So in that, they're problem solving and, learning all the skills that they need to become risk takers. So there's a decline in creative thinking, and then reduced ability to socialize and handle conflicts. And of course, already children with learning disabilities are already excluded from a lot of social activities. And so, we're not doing them very well when we do that. And then increased mental health issues in children. As a play therapist, of course, my work includes working with people with mental health issues. And almost always, every child that I have that has a learning disability, almost always they have a mental health issue. It's very rarely that you'll see that they don't have a mental health issue. So, and that's exactly what my work involves. So the call to action is outdoor play is essential for reversing some of these trends that we're seeing. Next slide. Okay, so the benefits can be that physical health improves, immune system in general can improve just from playing outside. So outdoor play encourages physical activity, which then improves health outcomes. And then they get higher levels of vitamin D and improved mental health, self-regulation skills, better attention, spatial memory. Okay, go ahead. Next slide. Okay, cognitive and social development. Remember, we're talking about nurturing holistic, development through play, right? For children with learning disabilities. Cognitive skills, outdoor play fosters executive functions, which is what I've been talking about, right? And for those who may not know what executive functioning means, the simple thing is, what does an executive do in an organization, right? The executive is the think tank, right? Is a person who has the ideas, who integrates everything together. Without the executive, even those that are very good may just go quiet, right? And so that is the front part of the brain that I said, is learned through play. So such as inhibitory control, working memory, and cognitive flexibility. Children develop that when they play. outdoors. And then there's social benefits. It encourages cooperation, communication, and problem solving among children, and integration for both neurotypical and neurodivergent children are able to cooperate together and problem solve together and be involved, because they're playing together outside. Yeah, go ahead. Next slide. Okay, so unique skills acquired through outdoor play. So I say unique because it's very hard for you to learn these skills with indoor play or with a table play, right? One is spatial awareness. Children learn to interact with their environment. They develop coordination and understand directions, left, right, over, under. They learn what their body, their body and environment, the relationship between their body and their environment when they play outside. So spatial awareness. Then there's sensory processing. So outdoor play can help children process sensory information, leading to better information, because better attention, because they're doing things that they're really interested in, right? And then there's self-regulation. Things are going to happen on the playground. They're going to learn how to manage their emotions, how to deal with issues, control their emotions and all of that through that. And then academic performance actually increases when they're able to play outside. That's why brain breaks are effective, right? Because when children are able to take a few minutes to play, to take deep breaths and increase oxygen into their brains, then their brains are more ready to take in more, right? And then there's mental mapping. So children develop mental maps of their environment. They improve navigation and problem solving skills. So they're able to take abstracts and make it real in their brains. So when you're teaching them something, they can imagine what you're talking about. Children can only learn that through outdoor play. So it's sort of like geography. You know what a map is, right? So their brains are developing visions. So even play like hide and seek, for example, can help with mental mapping. But even just running around, going zigzag, going in different directions can help them develop mental mapping skills. Next slide, please. So the importance of spatial awareness, they understand and interact with the surrounding environment. They use spatial awareness to navigate daily tasks such as following directions. So when you give children directions, first I want you to go to the room and then open my drawer. And then next you will see, so as you're talking, they're recording that and they're imagining that in their heads. So they don't have to come back to say, Mommy, what did you say I should do again? Right? So it can help with that. It helps them to play sports. So being able to kick in the right direction and all of that. And then it helps them to master math. So you see why reducing that play can be counterproductive. Then challenges for children without spatial awareness. They become clumsy, they have trouble following directions, they have difficulties with math. Next slide. And then the role of mental mapping, so a mental map is a person's subconscious view of an area, subconscious, right? Helping them navigate without physical maps. So everyone has mental maps that they use to get around, no matter how good they are with directions. You still need to be able to develop that skill. And outdoor play activities provide children with the opportunity to develop mental mapping skills. And then later on they build their navigation skills, right? How outdoor play builds mental maps, activities, like I said, hide and seek, walking, and all of that. Next slide. I want to be able to go through all the slides. Next slide, please. Okay. So, like I said, all I kept thinking about was practical things that we can do right at home. So card games. I'm bearing in mind that we're talking about children with different abilities, so if your kids can play card games, remember that it is not about the winning and losing, right? Even though that happens and children need to learn, to manage their disappointment and all of that, but also their emotions. So, but card games can boost memory. Even the flashcards that we use in classrooms, you can also have them at home, So card games can help with to boost memory and problem solving skills. So that's cognitive development. And then it encourages cooperation. It encourages turn taking, and so communication, cooperation, and playing fairly. So that's already social development. Then moving and handling the cards, can help with hand-eye coordination. That's physical development, right? So example, like I said, various flashcards, matching and pairing cards, and you can make some of this by yourself. There's a game of Snap, there's Go Fish, you can check online. But you can also create your own fun. You can create your own flashcards. You can use ordinary things like cardboard, paper, right, to make your own card games. Next slide. Then there are life skill games, and they teach frustration tolerance. Life skill games can teach frustration tolerance. It can teach patience, waiting patiently. That is emotional development. They also teach children about their culture, and that's something that we have sort of eliminated. So a lot of children from Gen Z down, Gen Alpha and all of that, they are losing the sense of their culture, because a lot of this has been taken away. Then there's self-awareness, there's awareness of others. They learn all of that when they have life skill games. So that's social development. It also enhances mental mapping and strategic thinking. That's cognitive development. And this involves, movement, crawling, running, jumping, physical development. Many of you will remember red light, green light, right? That can teach life skills. Things like hide and seek, Simon Says, musical chairs, they can teach life skills. Even some of our nursery rhymes can teach life skills. Next slide. Then ball games. Ball games can improve agility. They can improve balance, movement, gross and fine motor skills. That's physical development. And it also involves, working with others, choosing who the leader is and who the follower is and who is the goalkeeper, who is this and all of that. So understanding that there's hierarchy in society and all of that. It promotes teamwork, self-control, communication. That we're talking about social and language development. And then it is mentally stimulating. It requires problem solving, counting, and strategic thinking and accuracy. That is cognitive development. And examples are sorting, ball bounce, ball dance, and again, create your own ball games. My son is dyslexic, so I do have a child with learning disability. He spends a lot of time outside. He spends more time outside than he spends studying, but he's an A student, and it's all of these things. He plays ball. It has a lot to do with strategy, right? But he's an A student. Next slide. Okay, so conclusion, each child is different and unique. So even with everything that I've the examples that I've given, you have to think about your child, what makes them unique, what their interests are, their personality, their preferences in developing a program, a play program for them. And it's also important for you to join in the play. So it's important for us to know what works for your child. Another thing that I didn't write here, but I want to mention is that you, the adult that is working with the child, whether you're a therapist, a parent, a teacher, you're more important than the toys. You're more important than the play activity. And I'm saying this because sometimes I hear people say they're creating play opportunities for children and then they force them to do it, right? It's like, I took my time to plan this for you, so you have to do it, and then they don't join in. It now becomes a task that is difficult for the child rather than something that they can enjoy and learn skills from. Secondly, I want to say feed the senses. That's the simplest way I can tell you you can add play into your program, right? Feed the senses. So when you think about play, don't think about it in the sense that play sounds like it's a waste of time. Think about it in the sense that it feeds all the senses, right? And when you do that, you're integrating, the sensory integration. And then all children need play, whether they're neurotypical or neurodivergent. And then use this knowledge to ensure that your plan nurtures wholeness. So with that, I want to say thank you for having me. And I'm done.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Lami Gidado, for that rich, insightful, and therapeutic speech that you've given, especially on the therapeutic power of play. Thank you so very much, ma'am. For those of you that are just joining us, this virtual summit is brought to you by the Juice Leading Light Group of Schools. I repeat, the summit is brought to you by the Juice Leading Light Group of Schools. We will now take another set of parent testimonials. These stories continues to remind us that progress happens through teamwork, school, home, and therapy working hand in hand. Please enjoy the next testimonial session. Over to you, the media team.
And I'm Mufe's mom. Mufe is in grade 4. We've been here for like 5 years. So far, the journey has been challenging, actually, and as well good. We can see a lot of improvements in Mufe. First off, we are at peace that Mufe is here because we know he's in a safe hands. There was a time we wanted to change school and then went around looking for school. To be honest, we didn't get any place that we're so comfortable with that we can say Mufe can be there and then we're at peace at work. But here is different. To be honest, we can see the commitment that the teachers put in to educate the children, and they've taken Mufe as their own child, and that has given us joy and peace. His speech has really improved. We can communicate. We can literally communicate with Mufe, which wasn't like that before. Now you can tell Mufe, what do you want? We can communicate, and then he will tell us. Unlike before, that it wasn't like that. And to some extent, he's interacting with his sibling. He knows his numbers very well. That one is good at it. A lot has been done, and we really appreciate. We appreciate the educators, and then we say God will continue to bless you. Amen.
Progress is something else in terms of speech and in terms of being able to organize himself and focus to do something. In terms of tracing, you discover that he has really changed. Patience to trace wasn't really there. You can just do like this and throw away the pen and then run away. But now, when he gets home, he brings his assignment for us. Yeah. I don't know how you guys did it. He's more interested in terms of academics, unlike before. So I must appreciate God for this school. Nice knowing this school. Pains me that I really did not know this school before now. We are running from pillar to post, seeking for help. I say Philip has improved tremendously. Oh, my son.
So you see, feedbacks like this from our parents tells us that we are doing something really good and they can really see results in the lives of their children. Thumbs up to the Juice Leading Light Group of Schools S.E.N department. Thumbs up to you. Okay, so moving on, we would now move. Oh, sorry. So to wrap up the presentation for today, I am pleased to invite the Special Needs Coordinator, an exceptional practitioner, strategist, and team leader. Please, let's make welcome Mr. Praise Orimolade to deliver the closing speech for tonight's session. Please, let's welcome him with a clap. You're welcome. You have the floor now, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Charity. Thank you so much, our distinguished speakers. It's been an impactful session, and I believe that everyone learned a lot from both speakers. So it has been an enriching and deeply inspiring session so far, and I want to sincerely appreciate everyone for their active participation, attentiveness, and genuine commitment to strengthening the therapy journey of our learners. It's not it's not an easy task, but we believe and trust God that with God by our side, we will succeed always. So, but then today's conversation has reminded us that of one powerful truth, that it takes the home and the school working together to achieve meaningful progress. And if we can both partner together in therapy, I trust God that success is inevitable. So, and with the insights shared by our speakers and the heartfelt testimonials that we've all heard, it reflects the essence of our theme for this event, which is engage, empower, and experience. So, engage with your child at home, empower yourself. You've been empowered with by both speakers, and you've been empowered with some very practical strategies that you can actually use in working with your words at home. The power of play. Play is very, very vital in ensuring that our learners thrive. So, to every parent here tonight, I want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for partnering with us. And thank you for choosing to walk this journey with patience, courage, and love. Your involvement has a direct impact on your child's growth, whether you like it or not. And the consistency you build at home is the bridge that sustains therapy gains long after school hours. So, as professionals, we see the difference, and your child also feel the difference. We must say the truth. I also appreciate our educators and our therapists for their dedication and unwavering passion. You know, this partnership succeed because we all share the belief that every child can thrive when given the right support. And this brings me to the bone of contention we've always had with some parents, like screen time. You know, I was having a discussion with someone and I was speaking about screen time and the rise of virtual autism. And when we talk about virtual autism, we're speaking of uh, a child who has been so engrossed in screen time to the point whereby this child is now even showing signs or symptoms of autism. So instead of engaging the learners with screen time. Why not try play? Do engage them in storytelling, like Mrs. Ungozi rightly said. Engage them in storytelling. Engage them in play, like Mrs. Lamy said, and trust me, you will see your children thrive more than ever before. So with the foundation laid so far, I will say thank you to all our speakers. I will say thank you to our audience, and thank you everyone for making this summit a success. Thank you and God bless you all.